Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Office 365 Pulse. Adam is not with us. He is really getting into the habit of being triple and quadruple booked, poor guy. But maybe next week he will be with us. It's great to see everyone. Although we're not seeing everyone, I see Tamara and Tom. But let's kick things off today. We have about 50 updates. So Tamara, why don't you tell us what is up in development?
In development, I am really excited about Outlook multiple time zones. So users can add multiple time zones to their calendar in Outlook on the web so they can see their events stack across those time zones. So this is rolling out in the end of February for GCC, the Worldwide Standard Multi-Tenant, DoD and GCC High. I think this is going to be great for those nationwide corporations or organizations. It's tough when you're dealing with people on the East Coast and the Pacific Coast and trying to find a time that works and not screw that up. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, this should help Tamara and I a lot because we have my time Pacific, her time Eastern, and our time Central.
Yes. We call that kitchen time.
Kitchen time.
It's Central time. And then Visio, much like they said last week, where they canceled a Visio item and said it was going to be broken out, they have broken that out into 4 pieces. So new shapes and stencils and templates in Visio for the web, enhanced context menus in Visio for the web, mind maps in Visio for the web. I use an application called
Mind Mapper?
MindJet, and it's a mind map software. So it'll be interesting to see how Visio's mind mapping works. If I can use that and get rid of my subscription to the other one. And then enhanced UX interactivity and responsiveness in Visio for the web. And those are coming out in March, end of January, end of May, and April. And that's for everybody. Everybody's getting that love. GCC, DoD, GCC High, Germany, and the commercial client. So those are the things that really got me excited.
I have one that gets me excited, and I'm going to just take it, and then I'll let Tom go. But I'm going to take it because Tom probably would have taken this one, but I'm going. This is Sharepoint Microsoft List Customizable Command Bar. So you can personalize the list to suit your needs by customizing the command bar. So like you can customize form headers and footers. The JSON-based feature will allow basic changes to the command bar, including modifications of icon or text, hiding existing options, or adding new commands. We can make the list work for us. This is just so fun. Like you can hide things, add things, move things. It's great. Might make training a nightmare, but it's gonna be great.
Sometimes this is there, sometimes this is not there.
I
really wish it was a GUI situation as opposed to JSON based.
Tamara, everything starts JSON based. They get it working the way they want, then it becomes a GUI based situation.
All right.
You've been here long enough to know that. It takes about a year.
The world, man. Jason rocks.
Only for a little bit. They'll get it JSON, and if people use it, it's there. Besides, there are amazing people in the world. One of them is named Chris Kent, and he'll write all the JSON you need. He'll post it to this place called PNP, and then he'll do like great examples that you can use in PNP. And here you go. And then you just go copy them. And then they give him an MVP, and you go copy his stuff, and it works perfect. So you just go copopy their stuff. You get their examples. Chris Kent. He's got all sorts of list customizations and all that kind of stuff.
He actually does a session on taking your list to the next level. And he'll take a basic SharePoint list. And by the time you get done, it's like, this isn't a list anymore.
You got to be careful, though, because a lot of the stuff that he has examples for, you can actually now do in the UI. So you don't want to write too much code for it. But I mean, when it first comes out, don't worry, don't be scared of JSON. JSON will go away. The UI will come. Do not worry. Don't worry, Tom. I'm not saying JSON will go away. I'm saying the common customizations will come to the UI like they need to. And then what you need to go get JSON for, if it's super common, someone will write it for you. That's what developers are for, and you can copy it. So do not worry. It'll be fine.
So says Jen, I don't do semicolons.
I don't do them. I copy them. It's a difference.
Okay, that was an angle you've never used before, but I'll go ahead and take that one. So I've got 3 items that I will mention before we probably roll into the next level, which is rolling out. 1, in Excel, you're now going to be able to put hyperlinks in your modern comments. So instead of just saying, hey, you need to do this. Hey, I did that. You could actually put a link to something else, which I think is kind of cool. They're doing a lot of things with modern comments. In fact, one of the recent, this week, I saw a change announced for stream videos that are stored in SharePoint or OneDrive. You're now going to be able to do comments on your stream videos. So that whole engine that does the modern comments is spanning more and more of the different pieces like Excel, PowerPoint, Word. Now it's going to be Stream. Really cool stuff out there. I'm looking forward to see where that goes beyond that. File sharing, OneDrive sharing experience, copy link and command bars. So it used to be you do copy link and it would give you the link, but then, did you have permissions right or whatever? Now what they're allowing you to do is at the point that you do copy link, it also is going to give you the ability to set whatever the permissions are that you want people to have with that link. So it'll be probably a lot nicer and you'll have more successful sharing in the fact that at the point that you actually get ready to send this out, the people are going to have the access to it instead of them getting the link. They click on it and go, oh, I don't have access to that. You need to fix that. And you go back and forth a few times. So that's good. That should be out this month. And again, it's coming to everything worldwide, GCC, DoD, and GCC High. And then the last one I wanted to mention was in Outlook on the web, users can select custom colors for their calendar events using hexadecimal values, RGB values, or a color picker control. I like having different colors on my events so I can see at a glance, hey, do I have a lot of team meetings today? Do I have customer meetings? Do I have webinars going on? I like the fact that they're giving you more control now over the color angles. And again, that goes to everybody, GCC High, commercial, GCC, and DoD, and that should be out in February.
Yeah. There was one more. Tamara, do you have any more?
No, go for it.
Viva Topics available in GCC April 2022. So that's a big one. So far, Viva hasn't been in government yet. So Viva Topics in GCC in April. So that's something that if you've been waiting for that, that is on the way. So there we go. It's in development, shooting for April. So cool. Well, then I guess we are moving out to rolling out. So Tamara, do you want to start us out for rolling out?
Sure. I have 2. SharePoint rules engine for alerts. So Microsoft is adding a no-code rules engine to drive content alerts. So based on the rules wizard in Microsoft Lists, alerts use a simple no-code wizard to send updates when documents are added or deleted or when someone edits metadata.
That's a heart. That's me hearting that.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I know the one that they've had, for a while in SharePoint Online. They're like, oh, look, you can use this rules engine. I'm like, this rules engine doesn't do squat. It's kind of like, yeah, click here, I'll alert you something changed. We're done. It sounds like they're adding a lot more features and you can start getting more into finer detail like you used to be able to do in SharePoint, on-prem type things for list alerts. So that's cool.
Great. And then the other one that I'm excited about, music mode for Teams. So this is great because if you have a webinar, if you have a meeting, and you get on 15 minutes early to allow people in from the lobby and get set up, A lot of people will come into this meeting or this webinar or this live event, and it's silent. And so you don't know, is my audio working? Am I in the right place? So the fact that we can be able to play music, I think is going to be great. So in music mode, Microsoft supports up to 32 kilohertz sampling rate, mono audio at 128 kilobits, and optimizes the internal audio processing center for reproducing music with high fidelity. Teams is going to automatically adjust the audio bitrate based on the available bandwidth, going down to 48 kilobytes while still delivering good music quality. And they also provide users the option to turn off components such as echo cancellation, noise suppression, and gain control if needed. So to benefit from this improved fidelity, professional microphones and headphones or high quality external loudspeakers are ideal. No Bluetooth headsets. Glad I invested in a Bluetooth headset. So built-in microphones and speakers on your laptops, like a Surface Book Pro, will also deliver a good experience. And that's rolling out the end of January. And that's going to GCC, the standard multi-tenant, GCC High, and DoD. So everybody's getting some love with some music.
This will be good because it's not so much now. I think they kind of figured out how to do it better, but we used to have, there were probably live event meetings. So he says, oh, well, we want to have music play. Well, what they would do is they would like play from a music device and they would put it near the speaker. But the keyboard was also near, so you'd hear the speaker thing move around. You're click, 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 like, oh God, really? No, just don't turn it off. Just turn it off.
That's a new music genre.
Yeah, it was not good.
What, called conference call?
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
All right, Tom, what do you have in rolling out?
So I really thought Tamara was going to grab this one, but the quick chart web part for document libraries.
I have it highlighted.
I thought you probably did. So the quick chart you have out there right now, but one, it's only available for lists. And it means that you have to have at least one numeric field in the list for it to do its calculations off of and stuff like that. They're now going to enable you to use document libraries for your quick chart web part. So I'm assuming you'd still have to have metadata for the documents and something's got to be numeric in there. But again, you're at least going to be able to start getting some of those quick charts in a web part for a document library, which to date you've not been able to do. And I've had a couple people who have asked for that and they're like, one other one I'll throw out there too is in SharePoint, the Microsoft 365 list entries, list entry point in the SharePoint app bar. So running down your right or left-hand side of your screen, you'll have, the 4 different icons that you have. Well, what they're going to do is they're going to add one more icon in there after the files icon, and it's going to be to SharePoint lists. So when you click on this, it's going to take you to the SharePoint 365 list panel. And what you see in there is going to be really driven on your own experience. So your personal activity in different lists you've been in, Microsoft Graph, what kind of lists are you looking at that others might have been looking at type thing. So it's going to give you an easier way to get to a list that you're using instead of having to figure out how to navigate to the site, how to drill down in the site, how to then find your list. It's just going to be a quicker entry point from within the SharePoint screen that you're already in. And that should work pretty good. That's rolling out and it might actually be in your tenants now. It's hitting all the tenants and it should be out in January.
Just remember, if you don't have Microsoft Graph turned on, your mileage may vary.
This is true.
Well, cool. Well, I've got one that I like. So automatically build visualizations of library metadata with Power BI.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so that's something that we had wished for, when they first introduced Power BI, and then it automatically saves it, so or you can save it so it automatically updates when people go back to the report. So I remember when we used to try that with this little tool called, SharePoint Designer, and all we did was break things. So this is this really great thing. It just kind of works. It does it for you. So super excited about things like that. It's like, I remember when. So that's really cool. And then Microsoft Search, custom filters on native verticals. So again, just making things easier when you're coming out and doing search out of the box. So that's great. There's about 4 things on launched. So I'm going to pass that to the team we'll pass it to Tom first this time. And what do you have in launch that you want to tell us about, Tom?
Tamara's going, so help me. If you take mine, you are dead meat and we're traveling tonight. Don't do it. Microsoft Teams, Team Admin Center, sensitivity label support in government clouds. So you'll be able to leverage existing sensitivity labels and assign them when creating new teams. Sensitivity labels assigned to teams help provide stricter security and compliance controls. Again, everybody's had this up to the point of the GCC, GCCI, DoD. You're not going to have it in GCC. So, Tamara, how would you like to take one of the items there?
Why, thank you, Tom. I'll take Microsoft Teams introducing background effects on the web for 500.
Color me shocked. I did not know you were going to take that one.
I know this shocks you, but I think this is great because if you are in a hotel or if your office happens to also be your bedroom and you have to join a meeting using a browser, you'll soon be able to blur your background or replace it entirely with the images provided in your video meeting or call. Note that blurring or replacing your background may not prevent sensitive information from being visible to other people in the call or the meeting. So I think that's a big thing. People get really sensitive about their backgrounds. So that will be helpful. Jen?
I guess the last one, the sync admin reports for aggregated error reviews, just a new feature in the OneDrive admin client. So they're always adding new features there. So that is launched now. And then finally, the last thing, this is in canceled. This is a cross-tenant people search. This feature is just being postponed. That typically means that they're needing to find a new way to do it. That happens a lot with cross-tenant features. So no worry, this was for people who had multi-tenant. So this definitely hits a minimal audience there. So this was something that people, when they wanted it, they wanted it. But being able to do that, this would be if you had like multiple companies merging together or different things like that, a need there. So this was canceled. It's being postponed and they're updating it later. So they're not saying no, they're saying not this way. So you'll hear something about it later with a different way. Crossing the tenants is like crossing the streams in Ghostbusters. You don't do it. So they got to figure out a different way to do it. So they're working on that for us. So those are the updates for today. So we will be back next week with another round of updates. So thanks, everybody. We will see you next time.
Thanks. Have a good one.